Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into one of cinema's most, well, iconic figures, Darth Vader, the man once known as Anakin Skywalker.
Mm.
His story, it's not just sci-fi spectacle, it's this incredible character study, isn't it? Full of these huge themes: heroism, villainy, ambition, fear.
Absolutely. And that journey of redemption for him as a father.
Exactly. So we've looked at a bunch of sources, including a really insightful character analysis to, unpack his whole path.
And it's fascinating because this goes right back to George Lucas's original vision. Anakin, later Vader, he was always meant to be the central kind of tragic figure of Star Wars.
Right.
His story, if you strip away the spaceships and lightsabers, it's rooted in really timeless stuff. Myths, religion, even Shakespearean tragedy, the classic fall from grace.
Chosen one who falls spectacularly.
Precisely. So our mission today really is to get under the skin of it all, understand the psychology, the choices that shifted everything.
And how he eventually found his way back,
Yeah.
against all odds. Okay, let's unpack this then. Starting right at the beginning, Anakin Skywalker. His story starts, well, pretty bleakly, doesn't it? A slave on Tatooine.
Humble beginnings, to say the least. Desperate, even.
But he wasn't just to anyone. Qui-Gon Jinn finds him, sees something extraordinary. The sources really hammer home this high midichlorian count,
Yeah, the Force is strong with this one, as they say.
making him the prophesied chosen one, destined to bring balance. But here's the thing. This paradox kicks in almost immediately. He's incredibly brave, but there's already this seed of fear, specifically fear of loss.
Mm-hmm.
It's subtle at first, but it's there, like this tiny vulnerability that's just going to grow.
And what's fascinating, is how crucial that early fear is. The character study really flags it as the foundational crack. It's the Achilles heel.
Right.
Then he becomes a Padawan under Obi-Wan. You see all this raw power, but he's impulsive, impatient with the Jedi rules.
Especially the emotional restraints, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He chafes against that. He craves recognition, validation. And then, crucially, there's the secret forbidden love for Padme Amidala.
Ah, yeah. That throws a huge wrench in the works.
It immediately sets up this massive internal conflict. Duty versus desire, Jedi code versus personal attachment, the seeds for his downfall.
Mm.
They're pretty much all there, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. You can just see it, Billy. And here's where it gets, well, really intense. Because that anxiety, that fear of loss from his childhood, it gets magnified hugely.
Mm-mm.
The sources talk about these terrifying nightmares he has, Padme dying in childbirth, that just pushes him over the edge.
It becomes overwhelming.
Yeah, it feels less like a personality trait and more like the single thing driving him. So how do the sources connect this deep anxiety to his choices? And Palpatine, how does he just slide in there and exploit it?
Well, that fear of losing loved ones, his mother first, then the terror about Padme becomes the absolute core motivation. Everything spins around preventing that loss. And Palpatine, he's the master manipulator. He sees this raw nerve, this intense vulnerability, and he just presses on it. He doesn't just offer power in the abstract.
Oh, it's specific, isn't it?
It's specific. He frames the dark side, this forbidden knowledge, as the only way, the only possible path to save Padme. It's this diabolical twisting of Anakin's love against him.
Like dangling the one thing he thinks he needs most.
Precisely. It's psychological warfare, plain and simple, turning his deepest fear into the lever for his corruption.
And the fallout from that manipulation, it's just catastrophic. This is where the hero truly becomes the villain.
It is. Anakin feels he has no other choice. He buys into Palpatine's promises, embraces the dark side because he genuinely believes it's the only way to save Padme.
Which leads to the betrayal of the Jedi.
Total betrayal. He plays a key role in their extermination. I mean, slaughtering Jedi, even the younglings. It's brutal. And that's when he takes on the mantle of Darth Vader.
And the irony.
Yeah.
Oh, the irony is just devastating.
It's profoundly tragic. The sources really emphasize this. The very actions he takes to save Padme are what directly cause her death. She loses the will to live because of what he's become.
Heartbreaking.
He's left consumed by this inferno of rage, guilt, loses his body fighting Obi-Wan on Mustafar.
And gets entombed in that black suit.
Exactly. That iconic armor, it's a literal life support system, yes, but it's so much more. It's a symbol of his prison, his self-imposed suffering, the choices he can never undo.
So then, as Darth Vader, he becomes the symbol of terror, the Emperor's enforcer, feared across the galaxy, crushing rebellions, destroying planets like Alderaan. I mean, he's the face of oppression.
He absolutely is. From the galaxy's perspective, he is pure evil, the mailed fist of the Empire.
But what's really going on under that mask? Is just darkness, or is there still something Anakin left in there?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And the analysis suggests, yes, even as this terrifying tyrant, there's still conflict. There's still, as they put it, a glimmer of the man Anakin once was. He's not a simple villain. His psychology is incredibly complex. The character study breaks it down into a few key things. First, that attachment anxiety, that intense fear of loss.
Still there.
Oh, yeah. It's fundamental. His inability to accept impermanence drives everything. Second, this deep need for control. Because he couldn't control loss, he tries to control everything else.
Embracing authoritarian power.
Right. Believing that imposing order, even brutally, is better than the chaos and pain of loss. You see it in how he deals with the rebellion, even how he tries to control Luke later on.
Makes sense. What else?
Third, this massive identity conflict. He was torn between being a Jedi, being Padme's husband, and his own ambition. These identities clash and it fractures him.
Leading to the Vader persona taking over.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And finally, underlying it all, immense guilt and shame. As Vader, the extreme violence, the cruelty, it's partly a mask for this profound self-loathing. The armor isn't just physical, it's like a shell he uses for self-punishment too.
Wow. So, okay, bringing this back to us. Beyond the Star Wars universe, these struggles, fear of loss, needing control, identity crises, guilt, these aren't just Jedi problems, are they?
Not at all. They're deeply human.
Anakin's story, even with the galactic scale, it really holds up a mirror to the internal battles we all face,
Yeah.
Grappling with our own fears, our desires, the choices we make under pressure.
Exactly. That magnified reflection is why he remains such a compelling, resonant character. It taps into something universal.
Right. So let's jump forward decades. We get to the climax, really. The confrontation with his son, Luke Skywalker.
A pivotal moment.
And Luke. Luke just refuses to give up on him.
Yeah.
He sees past Vader. He insists constantly that there's still good in his father. He won't kill him.
Even when his own life is on the line.
It's this unwavering belief, this almost radical act of love and faith. What do the sources say actually allows this belief to finally crack through that Vader shell?
The analysis really points to the sheer, unshakable nature of Luke's conviction. It's not passive hope, it's active insistence. It's a direct challenge to the darkness Vader has embraced.
And it works.
It works, that climactic moment. Watching the Emperor torture Luke, something finally breaks. Anakin Skywalker resurfaces.
He kills the Emperor.
Sacrificing himself to save his son. In that one act, Vader dies, Anakin is redeemed, and in a twisted way, he does bring balance by destroying the Sith Lord controlling the galaxy.
Not how anyone expected the prophecy to be fulfilled, though.
No, not through Jedi power, but through an act of love. Selflessness over self-preservation, which raises a big question, doesn't it? What does that final act really tell us about our own capacity for change, for forgiveness, even after someone's gone so far down a dark path?
It's a powerful statement, definitely. But I do wonder, is that redemption truly earned, considering everything Vader did? Or is it more about Luke providing that spark? It's a tricky moral area.
That's a really key point. And the sources tend to frame it less as erasing the past. You can't undo Alderaan Anakin, but that the act itself, the self-sacrifice driven by love, is the moment of redemption. It's about choosing light in the final moment.
A choice that defines his end, rather than his whole life.
Exactly. Anakin's story ultimately shows that even the most broken figure, someone responsible for immense suffering, can find their way back to the light, even right at the edge of death. It's this sliver of hope, isn't it, that change is always possible.
And when you pull back and look at the bigger picture, the themes, the legacy, it becomes clear why this story sticks with us.
Yeah, zooming out, he really embodies the tragic hero, like Macbeth or Othello, undone by his own flaws, that fear, those attachments amplified by circumstance and manipulation.
Right.
His story also says so much about the nature of evil. It argues that evil isn't just born, it's made. It grows from fear, from choices, from manipulation.
It's not inherent.
No. But maybe the most resonant theme is the power of redemption. His end is this incredibly powerful reminder that change, forgiveness, they're always on the table, no matter how far gone someone seems.
And it taps into those ancient story patterns too, right?
Definitely. Myth and archetype. You see echoes of fallen angels like Lucifer, corrupted heroes, the sacrificial father figure. These aren't just sci-fi tropes, they're fundamental parts of how we tell stories to understand ourselves.
It goes way beyond just a space opera.
It really does. It's about the human condition.
Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Anakin Skywalker, the man, the myth, the villain, the redeemed father.
Yeah, it's quite a journey to unpack, and maybe a final thought for you, the listener, to chew on. As you think about Anakin's path, what human fears or desires do you see being played on, maybe exploited in stories or even in the world around you today?
Interesting question.
And what does Anakin's final act, that choice to save Luke, really suggest about the enduring power of connection? About choosing love, even when it costs everything?
Definitely something to think about. We encourage you to keep doing your own deep dives into the stories that shape how we see things. Until next time.